Hey there, how's it going? Now, we're all making videos, at least I hope we are, and we're publishing them up on YouTube. That's why we've got a YouTube channel. We want to create videos, we want to put them up on the internet, and we want other people to watch them. Now, there are 10 things, however, that you need to fix in your videos if you want me to come and watch them. Stick around, I'll tell you what they are. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Now, just before I get going, I'd just like to remind you to hit the subscribe button down below, and if you've got any questions during this video, do put them into the comment section below. I try and read as many of them as I can, and I do like to get back to as many people as I can. And I always use the questions and the comments that you guys leave behind to feed more ideas for more videos, and this is one of those videos. See, I've got a lot of people saying, hey, nobody's watching my videos, why aren't they coming to my channel, what's not happening? And I've got 10 things that I've found that are fairly common that you can do right now to fix some of your videos up and fix your channel up, and get me coming and watching more of them, and getting your audience watching your videos, more of your videos, and further through your videos as well. And here they are. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is take some time to know what I'm searching for. Have a look at what people are actually wanting to watch on the internet, and this is a lot easier than it sounds. Now, the first thing I want you to try and do is go and get Tubebuddy. Everybody who's creating videos and publishing them and wants people to come and watch them really should get something like Tubebuddy, install it. It's cheap as chips, and use it, and it will help you immensely. Now, one of the things that you can do in Tubebuddy, and if you don't have it, you can just do this in Google search, this step, is you can just go and type whatever it is that you want to make a video about. So I've got an iPhone here, so I could just go and type iPhone 11 in Google, and in the suggested searches it will come up for the whole pile of things that other real people are really searching for, and the order they come up in is the order of popularity. So you start looking at what comes up when you type iPhone 11. These are all really great ideas, and they're things that people are really searching for right now on Google, on the internet, and you can make videos about those and have them come up in the search results. So take some time to think about your audience and the things that you want to make videos about, and refine those ideas down by using the search researching tool. If you can do it in Google, as I said, you can also do it in Tubebuddy. If you do it in Tubebuddy, they do a lot more analytical work, and you can get much better results. You can refine the results, and you can see exactly how many people are searching and how many competitive videos there are and things like that. I've got other videos on how to use Tubebuddy for keywords and search results. Go have a look at those. Right, let's get on to the second point. Now, when it comes to these search results, you want to make sure that your video is getting into the search results and as high up as possible. You want to make sure that you're crafting great titles, good descriptions, and of course getting the selection of keywords and things in there, and tags of course nowadays, to really boost your videos up and make sure that they're getting a higher position in search results. Now, once again, Tubebuddy's really good at doing this. It helps you out a heap. It's not intended to be a Tubebuddy promo tool. It just happens to be a really good tool for these points, by the way. If you do want Tubebuddy, there is a link to it in the description below. Go check that out. You will never regret it, I promise. But make sure that you're using great titles that people are actually searching for. Put a lot of really good information in your description. That really helps YouTube figure out what it is that you've got in your video, and matches that to what people looking for videos are actually looking for. It will profile your viewers and profile your video and make a match of them. That's what the YouTube algorithm does. That's the whole core of it. So make sure that you describe your video really well, and YouTube will match you up with people that really want to watch it. That's a really powerful tool. Also, make sure you've got keywords in there that are relevant and give you good results. Research these as well. Tubebuddy once again, and there's other tools like Morning Fame that can help you with this as well. But yeah, go and use these tools and find out the best information you can put in there. And also put half a dozen tags. Just remember though, it's the first 3 that really count the most when you're doing these hashtags on your video. Now when I do a search in YouTube, I'm going to get 20 results coming up on my page. It's going to be a grid that's say 5 wide by 4 deep, and it's going to be this whole array of thumbnails. They're going to look really attractive. They all match as results for the search I was making. And how am I going to know that yours is the one I really want to search for? Which one is going to jump out at me? This is all about the thumbnail you create. So you do all this great search work that makes sure you get into the results. You've got good titles, you've got good keywords, you've got good description. You come up on the page when I type in my search query, and there's these 20 thumbnails. You want to make sure that yours is the one that really jumps out at me and grabs me and says, click on me, you won't regret this. So really have a look at the thumbnails that come up when you search for your video title and make one better than those. That's your challenge, is to make sure yours is the thumbnail that jumps out and grabs the eye when somebody searches for your title. This is easy to do. Just search in YouTube for your video title, see what comes up there, and that's your competition. That's what you've got to beat. So do that, have a look at what's there, and make a better one. It's really worth putting the effort into. So now that you've got me finding your video in the search results, and you've created a thumbnail that forces me to click on your video, and I'm here, I've clicked on it, I'm at your video, you've got 7 seconds to convince me to stay. That's about what it takes. If you have a look at the analytics and the retention on any video, you'll find a graph that looks a bit like this one here, and you see that right at the beginning of it over here, it's 100% of the viewers, of course, and then in the first 7, 10, 12 seconds, whoomp, it goes down. There's almost nobody looking anymore. That's what you want to try and avoid. So you want to use that first 7 seconds to give people a really good reason to stay on your video. That's all you've got. Don't start your video with big flashy graphics and titles, and you can do a little bit of that later on once you've got people watching, like I did at the beginning of this one. That's great, you can do that, but don't put them off by wasting that first 7 seconds with the same cliche shit that everybody else does. Frankly, you don't need that in there. So use that first 7 seconds to sort of help people ask the question. You know what they were asking for, because that's the title they searched for. So now you want to go and grab them again and say, hey, look, you want to know about this, and I can tell you about it, so stick around, and that's what we'll do. Use that first 7 seconds, hook them and keep them there. If you can get them past that 7 seconds and into the next 30 seconds, then you've got a really good chance of keeping them the whole way through the video. A lot of people have gone and created these big 20, 30 second, 40 second intros. I've done it as well, and they're great. You put hours of work into them, and I'm going to tell you now, delete that, or take what you've got if it's really cool and crunch it down. Keep it to 5, 7, 10 seconds long. That's enough. All you need to do is say, here's my brand. That's all that intro's for. Don't say, hey, here's my brand, this is my name, look at where I live, this is subscribe to me, like me, big, I need views, give me more, help me grow, I'm bored, I'm clicking away, I'm going to another video. Don't do that. Get rid of that big long intro. Don't put it right at the beginning. Have your 7 seconds or 20 seconds of grabbing somebody and hooking them and introducing them to the video. Then do your branding. Make it 5 or 10 seconds at most. That's all you need. And then hit back into the video. Now, once you've got them engaged, you've given them a brand so it feels like they're home, and all of that really neat stuff. Now you can start actually talking to your audience and telling them about the rest of the video. Right, and that's a big thing, is actually telling your audience what the video is about. If you're going to create a video where you're not on screen, now there are a few genres that can get away with this, like crafts and hobbies, things where you're just showing a tabletop on a down camera or something like that. You can kind of get away with that there. But you will get a lot more audience retention, and you will have a lot of people staying longer on your videos and engaging with you if they can see your mug. If you can actually eyeball people and talk to your audience, have a conversation like I'm having with you now, and get that real human connection going. Get your eyeballs looking straight down the barrel of the camera, and I can guarantee you the person at the other end will make a personal connection to you. Our brain is hardwired to produce particular neurological stimulation when there's a set of eyeballs looking straight at you and you look straight back, it creates a connection, and there's chemistry that goes on in the brain that says this is a relationship that we're forming. There's one other creature that does this, and that's the dog. They also have that same neurochemical reaction. No other animal on the planet does it. That's interesting. But do that. Look at your audience. Connect with them visually. Talk to them directly. Don't just use captions and music and writing on the screen and things like that. That might work for some people, and you might build and get a reputation for it slowly. But by actually talking to people, you're going to make a much more direct connection, and it's going to be much more meaningful. It's going to work quicker for you, and it's going to be a more solid connection. So I found your video, I clicked on your thumbnail, I've gotten engaged, you've hooked me in, and we've created a connection, and we've become best buddies on YouTube. Awesome, that's great. And now I'm going to watch your video. And now that I've started watching it, you want to keep me watching it, but I've only got a certain attention span. Don't create a video that's taking 20, 30, 40 minutes to give somebody a piece of information. The reason we've come to the internet is we want to find out something fairly quick. We've only got a short span of time to learn this thing that we're after. And I'll tell you now, you've got about between 5 and 15 minutes is great for an informational video. If you're doing something like creating a web series episode, sure, you can do 40-45 minutes. If you're doing a documentary about something and there's a lot of material to get in there, then yeah, 45 minutes, even 2 hours, you can get away with that because that's a really outstanding piece of work. But for your general informational video like this one, keep it between 5 and 15 minutes if you can. If you keep any more than that, you're really going to throw people away. And even for that period of time, you want to keep me engaged in your video. There are a couple of cool tricks you can do for this. First of all, you can say, I've got 10 things I'm going to tell you in this video, like I did on this one, and get through those 10 things. If you enumerate your content, then people know that there's an expectation that it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to watch the last couple. I've watched the first 5. I know there's 5 more. I'll stick through it. George Lucas was great at this. In Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie, all the Star Wars movie, he broke them into 3 acts, and each of those acts was broken into 3 sub-stories. So you had 9 short stories you were watching. That's much easier than watching one drawn-out 2-hour movie, 2-hour story. Instead, you're watching 9 episodes. And that's a really good thing to think about when you're creating a YouTube video. Don't just do one video where you're blabbering on about something for 10 minutes. Break it down into 10 1-minute segments that are much more informational and more engaging. People will know that there are those 10 segments coming because you told them, and they'll watch each of those 1-minute segments because they're a good, concise piece of information and something for them to learn each time. My 9th point here is to keep your video space that you're shooting in simple and clean but interesting. Now that's an interesting compromise. You don't want to have a plain white wall that's just dead boring. You don't want to have lots of TV things going on in the background and motion behind you. What I've done here with mine is I've got this shelf of lenses up here, and with a nice green light behind it. I've got this other shelf here that's got a couple of cameras in it. It's got some books in it and a bit of blue light there. And it's interesting enough that it creates a good textured background, but it doesn't drag you away from listening to me. So I would like to see more people having a nice clean environment that's not a messy bedroom, not a plain white wall with a dead fly splattered in it. I actually saw that the other day. You can do some really nice stuff in keeping it really simple. Here's a couple of great examples. If you have a look at Lady Coach Explores here, she's just got a simple room to work in, and she's added these flowers and stuff that you can see here, and it just turns it into a really good deep image. It's a great image for her to be shooting in, and it works really, really well. And all that is a couple of vases of flowers and things that she's used to create a space visually within this 16 by 9 frame that we're living in here. Here's another example with my friend Angie. Her channel is Bariotic is Around. There's links to both of these guys in below, by the way. And once again, she doesn't have an elaborate set or anything. She's kept it nice and clean, simple, but a couple of things in there to keep it interesting as well. Just a bit of plant life can do wonders if you don't have a big shelf full of lenses. Here's what not to do. Don't have like bad lighting and really messy backgrounds. Don't show your bedroom with all the clothes thrown everywhere. And I've got some other stories there, but I won't go into that. Anyway, so you've had me find your video, I've picked your thumbnail, I've watched your video, I got hooked, I stayed all the way through, I've got to the end of the video, and now you want to leave 20 seconds of something interesting going on in the background so you can put the YouTube end screen on it. Now there are a couple of things you need to know about the end screen. They work on 16:9 videos. Actually, they'll work on 2:1 ratio videos like I'm doing. You'll notice that I'm a little bit wider than most people on the video aspect ratio thing here. You can go 2:1. There's another video about that one. But make sure that you've got your end screen set up like I have. I've got my end screen set up here. See, in this last 20 seconds of my video, I'm going to ask you to hit the subscribe button here, because that's how you get back to see more of my videos. And I can put a couple of these things up here as well, because there are other videos that you want to watch. And this is an end screen. Use them. They're there. They're great. I'm going to do another video on end screens and the different way you can set them up. I will see you later. Have a good evening.